Hi everyone, this is Tracy. For today's project we're going to be making some Christmas tags. I've got a whole bunch of cardstock scraps, which I'm sure you guys do too. So I wanted to do a project this week that could use up some of those scraps, but also be practical for the holiday season. It's getting to be that time of year where we're wrapping gifts and we need to be able to put tags on them, so that's what I did for this week. So I'm going to be using my Cricut Explorer 2 today. You could use your other Cricut machines if you like. Just keep in mind that if you decide that you want to use the Cricut pen to write on your tags, this is the one that I'm going to be using for my Cricut Explorer 2. But if you use your Joy or your Joy Extra, just make sure it says Cricut Joy on it. This pen works with the Cricut Joy and the Joy Extra. I also have my standard grip mat, but you can use a light grip mat too. Just make sure it's got a good stick to it. Different colors of cardstock. I am going to be adding a name to one of my tags with adhesive vinyl, and I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to use a piece of contact paper to add the name to the cardstock. I'll show you, like I said, I'll show you how to do that. I've got my weeding tools, my brayer, different hang tags if you want to use, like this is cording, I believe it's called. We've got some baker's twine. If you decide you want to glue some of your tags together, you can. You can be using the Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. I'm not sure if I'm going to glue them together or not. Like always, I did my test projects first, and I did a couple of them where I glued them, and I wasn't real happy with them, so it's just kind of personal preference, whatever you decide to do. But I think that's it, so let's go ahead, jump into Design Space. I'll show you how to get this all set up. I'll show you how to use the pen so you can have a writing font to write on your cardstock as well. But let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here we are in Cricut Design Space. This is what your little gift tag bundle is going to look like when it lands on your canvas. I'm going to go ahead and right click and ungroup these. You can resize this if you want to. If you wanted to make them a little smaller, you could. Right now I've got them all at 2 inches wide, and then various depending on the little things that stick out here, how long they are. But that's up to you if you want to resize them. But I want to go through here and show you. All of these gift tags have a front and a back. So drop this down here and you can see if we ungroup this, it's got a front and then it's got a back. So if you wanted to add color to the back, you could, or you could just leave them see-through. So like this one here, obviously you want to have the back that's going to match so that it lines up correctly, but that's up to you, however you want to do them. So I'm just going to go through and show you a couple different ways that you can do this. So for this one here, I'm actually going to change the colors on these. This I'm going to turn to a red. And I don't think I'm going to actually do the back of this one. I'm just going to go ahead and hide it for right now. But for this one, this is the one I'm going to add the adhesive vinyl to. I'm going to click on the text here. Oops, I already got one there. And I'm going to type out, I'm going to do these on different lines so that I can maneuver them and move them around the way I want to. So I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this. And another one. And another one. So this I'm going to do the and sign. Okay, so for this font, this is one that I've had installed on my computer for a while. So when you're going to do change your fonts with Cricut, okay, so I'm going to click on this. Then where it says font, I want to click on that, and then this is going to pop out over here. Since this is a system font, that means it is a font that I have already downloaded on my computer. So I need to look under System. And the font that I want to use, it's called Milkshake. Like I said, I have used this font for a while. I've had it on my computer for a while. I will try to find the link for it. I looked in Creative Fabrica and Font Bundles and Creative Market, which are the 3 places that I usually purchase my fonts from, and I could not find it, but I did find it online. But I'll make sure that I link this for you guys. Oh, I need to go through and change all of these here. Okay, so now the reason that I did it separately is I want to be able to arrange this on this gift tag so that it looks nice. I'm actually going to change the color on this because I'm going to be doing this like in a gold color, just so I can see it a little bit better. Okay. So keep in mind, if you're going to be using adhesive vinyl or HTV, whatever you decide to use, let me zoom in on this a little bit. You don't want to go too small with your font because you can run into issues when you go to cut it on your machine. The thinner you go, the more issues you're going to have. It's easier with HTV, and you can absolutely do that on cardstock. If you have not done HTV on cardstock before, be sure and check out some of my other videos that I have. I've got some ornaments that I did with HTV on cardstock. Very easy to do. But for this one, I decided I wanted to do adhesive vinyl just because I like the color gold that I had for this vinyl. So I'm just playing with this to make it look good to my eye. I can sit here and play forever. I won't make you guys sit there and watch all that. But I'm going to go ahead and group these. And I'm going to just shrink that all together. And then I'm just going to grab both of them and come up here in a line, and then I want to center it so make sure it looks okay. And then I'm going to group that again, but actually I want to come down here, and I don't want to weld it yet, because welding means you can't unweld it, but I'm going to unite it. So that means it's all going to cut together. Okay, so that I'm going to put on this gift tag right here. Okay, so that's one I got out of the way. Let's go ahead and save this so we don't lose our project here. When you're working on a design or on an SVG that you have in here and you're adding names and stuff, it's always a good idea to save as you go. You don't want to lose your product or your project. I've had it happen before, and we all know that sometimes design space can be kind of glitchy. And it's better to just save as you go than be frustrated and lose what you've already done. Okay, so then I'm going to go through and I'm just going to go ahead and change some of these just for my visual purposes. Obviously, whatever you have on your screen here isn't going to matter when you get to your cut screen. It's whatever you put on your cutting mat. But I'm going to do this one with my Cricut pen. I want to change this to white. And this, I think I'm just going to do a blue. But for this, go ahead and move these out of the way. I know I'm moving stuff all over the place. Let's go ahead and get closer for this. I want to write to and from on this one. So for this, you want to make sure that you have a writing font. Okay, and I did test some out earlier. And you can get writing fonts on Cricut Design Space has them if you have Cricut Access. They do have a couple of free ones. They also have writing fonts on Creative Fabrica, which is my favorite place to go. But I'm going to go ahead and click on this. And if you have Cricut Access, you can come through here and click writing font, and that will show you all the writing fonts that Cricut Access has. They do have some free ones. You can go ahead and toggle on a free one, and then you can see which ones you can get for free. Okay, but for this one, I'm going to be using, this one is called, actually I take that back. This is one that I downloaded from Creative Fabrica. So I have it in my system fonts. This is called Gloomy Version, I think it's called. This one, Gloomy Unseen. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be doing. Sorry, I sound a little scatterbrained. You guys know I like to do test products, so I have everything written down of what I've already done and which fonts I didn't like. And I'll show you that when we get to the end of our making our gift tags. I'll show you which ones I didn't really care for. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and line this up on here. Make it as big or small as you want. Obviously, you want to leave room for writing the name that you have. Now, you could put somebody's name right down here if you wanted to, but I just wanted to do a general, so I'm not really sure who I'm going to give this to yet, so I'm just going to do a to and from. So what you need to do is you need to click on both of these, and you want to come up to here, Operation, and click on Pen. Now that's going to turn it to your pen knows that it needs to write this. And the reason that you want to do a writing font instead of, let me go ahead and bring another font in here so you can see what I mean here. If you came over here, and let's say you really like this font. This is not going to be a good font to write because what it's going to do is your Cricut is going to just do the outside and the inside is all going to be empty. So if you didn't know that about writing fonts, that's why you want to do a single line font for when you're doing writing with your Cricut pen. Okay, so now that I've gone ahead and changed that to pen, I want to grab both of those and I want to grab my gift tag and I want to come down here and click attach. So now my Cricut knows that it's going to cut out this gift tag, but it's going to write on this also. All right. So let's see what else we want to do here. I'm just going to go through and change the colors on some of these. This one I'm going to do like a pink theme. So the back of it, I'm going to do a pink glitter. In the front, I'm going to change this to purple because I'm going to be doing a pattern cardstock. And in my brain, and for whatever reason, I've decided that purple is always a pattern cardstock. So it's just how I remember. But I'm going to go through and change the colors on the rest of these. Like I said, I'm not going to make you guys sit here and watch this. And I'll show you how to get everything cut when we get over to that point and put them all together. Okay, I've changed my colors. I just wanted to come back on here and show you guys before we got to the cutting part of the project, another name to add on here. So this one is a Cricut writing font. I'm going to change this to Caitlin. Obviously I want to resize this. But this font is called Cute Cursive. And I did that by just Cricut and then writing font. And it'll show you all your writing fonts, but that's what this one is here. So I just scrolled through and picked one, and this one looked good to me. So this is what I'm going to be using for this tag. But I just wanted to give you an example of one of the Cricut fonts. This is, you have to have Cricut access for this one. Again, I'm just going to grab both of these. I want to align this and center it, and I want to change this to pen. And then grab both of those and attach. All right. So I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and click Make It here so you guys can see. I'm going to be using my Cricut Explorer Air, so make sure that your correct machine is selected. These two here, you're going to look on here and it's going to say pen and it's going to do basic cut. If you're using your Explorer, one of your larger machines, and you have the capability of having your pen and your blade in there, it's going to do your pen first and then it will cut. If you're using a Joy or a Joy Extra, it's going to tell you your pen first and then it'll say upcoming to put your blade in. So just keep that in mind on your screen. It'll tell you what you need to have in first, but typically the pen always writes first. But these are all our different tags here, and I will go through and put some of my elements on one mat so that it doesn't take so long to cut everything. But I do have some glitter cardstock, and then I also have that piece of adhesive vinyl. So I'm going to move things around and then I will show you how to get everything put together. Okay, I've got a few pieces of cardstock on here. Go ahead and use my brayer to push my cardstock down. And then I'll put my Cricut pen in. Okay, just go ahead and open the clamp right there. You can find this little marking that's on there. Just put it in, you're going to hear it click. And then just close your clamp. A little bit. Move this for a second. Go ahead and flip your mat over. Pull your cardstock off, and it's best to use your little tool if you have pieces in here. You don't want to rip anything. Just take your time pulling your cardstock off. And of course, I like to keep my little bits and pieces too. You can always glue that on something else. All right. When you're weeding your vinyl, just be very careful. Go slow. You don't want to lose any of your pieces. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put that adhesive vinyl on first so I can show you how to do that. And that one is going to go on this. And the reason that you want to use contact paper when you're applying your adhesive vinyl to your cardstock is transfer tape has just got too much of a stick and you can have a chance of ripping your paper. I have seen people use Glad Press and Seal, I believe it's called. So whatever you have on hand. So just go ahead and put your contact paper right down and then just burnish it with your little squeegee there. Sometimes it's easier to flip it over and get it to release. Because this is contact paper and it's not as sticky, you might need to help your vinyl release from your carrier sheet. So just push down and roll back. Just make sure you go slow. Okay. And then you want to get that centered on your gift tag. Actually, I'm going to bring my mat back over. Sometimes it's easier to have it on a sticky surface. And then you just want to roll back and go slow and make sure that it releases. And there's one of the first ones. Now if you wanted to put another layer behind this, you could, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and leave this without the layer behind it. I like it just the way it is. So that's one. Now I did go and cut a whole bunch of different colors because I could not decide on what looked good together. So I don't know if you guys do that, but it's one of the things that I enjoy is testing to see how everything is going to look together. So you just have to remember which one goes with which. So this one can go together. Got the little base at the bottom. And I've got another tree one. We could do like this. I think that looks really cute together. Now obviously remember this one, this cardstock isn't too bad. It's not textured too bad, but I've got some like these right here are really textured. You have a harder time writing with the pen on this one. So if you wanted to use this one with the pen, with your own pen instead of using the Cricut pen, you could use the Cricut pen as well. But this one, I'm trying to remember. Oops, I forgot to take the cardstock out of this one. There we go. So this one would go with this. I've got a daughter-in-law who loves pink, so I like to do pink projects for her. And this one could go together. But these would be really easy to do without having a backer, like this one here. But you also could do those together. And in a case like this, obviously you can't write on glitter, but you could write on the back of it. And then this one here, find the one that goes with it, this one. Put those two together. And this one's got a tag on the back of it, so I should make sure if you got a tag on the back of your cardstock that you check that first before you cut it and you've got a plan, but you could write on the top of this one. But there's just so many different variations that you could do. Do that one. Can't remember which one I showed already, but this is the one with the pen. This was the Cricut font. I think it was called Cute Cursive, I can't remember. And then this was that other one. But I'll show you some of the other ones I did too. So this one, I brought in a shape into, I got a hair sticking on here, brought a shape into Cricut Design Space, and I wrote out the name with the writing font, and then I just attached it to this piece. And then you could glue this onto here. So that would be a cute little way of doing it. This one I cut out of red glitter. I think I'm just going to leave it this way. I'm going to leave it all open. You could put white behind there if you wanted to, but I like the way this one looks. I said I've got so many different variations that I did. Now the first ones that I did, And I did that. I'll show you what they look like here. And I was telling you how I would tell you the fonts that I didn't like. This one here, this font, let me find the paper for it. This was a writing font. It's called Little White Lies, I believe. I think this was a Cricut font. I don't like the way that it's, I don't know if you can see it. It's got like it's open gaps. I don't really like that. I like these colors together. And this one here is that cute cursive one. And these, I just glued a back on them. These two were called Dear Agatha. That is a font on Creative Fabric. I'll make sure I link all these. I'll link all these fonts on the blog post and remind you what they're called. And then there's this one here. But like I said, so many different ways that you guys could do this project. And I'm somebody who hates to throw away little pieces. So this one obviously was cut out of this one over here. You could glue those on to other ones. The little stars that came out of this one here. You could glue that onto something else. I love to have little extra embellishments. But if you guys wanted to glue these together, like I said, the first ones that I did, I went ahead and glued them. I'm not really a big fan of those, but that's up to you, however you guys want to do them. But then you could do your little cord in here if you wanted to stick like this together. You do it like that. I think I like this better without it being stuck together. It's just personal preference. You could do like that one. But lots of different ways you guys can do these projects. Let me know which one is your favorite. And if you guys make them, I would love to see them. Don't forget to come on over to the Facebook group and show them off. I love seeing what you guys make with the freebies that I have every week. Make sure you drop a comment below. It really helps the YouTube algorithm push out my videos so more people can see them, which encourages me to keep making the videos that you guys like and giving you the freebies. Go ahead and do this one here. I'm just going to glue this on. That one there. I think that's cute. She's going to like that one. But that's it, guys. Like I said, if you like this project, drop me a comment, drop it a like. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. You can find this week's project in the freebie library. It is design number 233. I will leave the names of all the fonts on my website and the links to where you can find them. But thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you. Until next time, have a wonderful day on purpose.